Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, and are you scared of food restriction? Have you considered this? A lot of people hate the idea of any kind of food restriction. They see food and calorie restriction as these horrific tortures that you shouldn't have to endure just because you want to lose weight. But let's take a closer look at this, okay? And let's think about these so-called tortures of calorie restriction and food restriction. First of all, our ancestors didn't have grocery stores stuffed with food on practically every single street corner. They had to forage and hunt for their food all the time. And sometimes they went days without food, even weeks. And yet, you and I are here. Clearly, they survived, which tells us clearly that it's possible to survive and even be healthy in an environment where your food choices are restricted. Second, if you have a weight problem, you're eating too many calories, you're eating too much food, you're eating too much of the wrong foods too, or you're doing all of it. You're probably consuming way more volume than your body needs, and the food that you're consuming is triggering inflammation and screwing up your hormones, both of which could lead to weight gain if they go on and on. In fact, I know you're eating too much. If you have an accumulation of if you have bioaccumulated body fat, you're eating too much. That's how the body works. And you're eating the wrong stuff. I mean, either way, you're eating too much and you're eating the wrong foods. And restricting which foods you eat and how much you eat is part of how you get the weight off. If it wasn't, you wouldn't have a weight problem. I mean, and I get that most people love the idea of no rules, no boundaries, no discipline, and being able to just do whatever the heck they want whenever the heck they want. This is especially true when it comes to food. People tell me all the time, Cristy, there's so much in life I can't control. I should at least be able to control what I eat and when I eat and just eating what I want. I totally get that. But not everything that we feel like doing is good for us or other people, especially when it comes to eating what we feel like when we feel like it. Seriously, the foods that we feel like eating usually aren't the steak and asparagus. I mean, instead, they're foods that make us fat and sick. Freedom is important, but boundaries and restrictions have a place too. They help our world feel safer and more civilized. Sure, they definitely cannot be taken too far, believe me, but that doesn't mean that the answer is to have none at all. Think of what a nightmare it would be if there were no boundaries, no laws, and no restrictions. Well, it's the same with your food. No boundaries, no rules, no restrictions means obesity and sickness. If the word restriction bothers you, then call it something else, especially because managing your food is 100% your choice. Nobody's making you do this. You choose to eat differently. You choose to reduce your food volume. You choose exercise. You choose to exercise. No, not to exercise. Not like that. You choose to exercise impulse control. That kind of exercise. That's as the result of these choices, you break the restrictions you're currently enduring when it comes to your weight and your health. See, you may not realize it, but if you're obese and sick, the foods you're choosing are already restricting you. Can you really tell me that being too fat and sick to do the things that you love isn't restrictive? If you want a new result, like getting and keeping your weight off, you need new ways because your old ways ain't cutting it. You know this. That's why it's time to stop seeing food as restriction and as a negative thing. I'm not saying that we should overcorrect and starve ourselves. Of course not. I mean, please don't go from one extreme to the other. What I'm saying is, in the right circumstances, restricting what you eat and or how much you eat is beneficial and even healthy. It is also how you're going to get that weight off, and quite frankly, part of how you're going to keep it off. Besides, when you eat the way we eat on Code Red, you're probably not going to feel restricted. Most people don't. Instead, they say, I get to eat this way and lose weight. Wow. They say that. So come see for yourself by joining our Code Red private network at coderedlifestyle.com/APP. It's free to create an account. You can look around, you can do a program, you can see what you think of losing weight with real food, water, and sleep. Remember, no shakes, no pills, no diet foods, no exercise. So check that out, okay? And I'll see you in the next video.